Welcome back to the Slightly Out Topic podcast. Like always, it is I Demonic with the homie Mario.
What's up?
Today we have a lot of influencer-based stories.
Yeah, you can say that.
It's TikTok. You know, that's where brain cells go to die. We have,
But that's where culture happens.
you know what's sad though? That actually is true. That's the culture now.
Yeah,
It's online.
yeah.
That's crazy. You literally just blew my mind right now.
If you want to know anything, if you want to learn anything, if you want to be connected to the world, you have to go to TikTok now.
What was that one thing that I saw a lot of people were saying, like, oh, like TikTok taught me something
Yeah,
like that?
I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah, and like,
Have you ever done anything that you saw on TikTok?
No, because I don't have TikTok.
Oh, you're missing out.
I'm not.
So here's the thing. I felt the same way as you did, right? It's like, why do I need another one? It's just, I have so many. Do I need another social media thing? And the answer is yes. Yes, you do. You need another one. There's like a bunch of people that, and they're really short clips. Obviously, it's made to be addicting. So that
Basically,
you just keep
Vine
going.
2.0.
Vine 2.0. So you just keep going, except Vine was just straight up funny. Like, it's hilarious.
I've seen Vines, but on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how I saw Vines. I never.
I got exposed to Vines through YouTube as well.
Yeah, I've never cared for social medias like that. So.
Oh, well, let me tell you, if you go on TikTok, there's like, you and I, we use a lot of tools in our
We have a
job.
TikTok page for the Slightly Out Topic podcast. I will put it down on the description.
Link below.
Linked down below. You can't do this. They can't see you.
Link below.
So you have to do this. They can't see you with your big ass laptop.
Yes, they can. Use your imagination. There's a guy, you and I use a lot of tools. There's this guy on there that teaches you all these different things that you can do with your tools.
Right.
That is like, you didn't know before that, hey, this little piece right here on your hammer is specifically for this reason and not just some cool design feature.
Yes, I will give you that. I have seen a lot of shorts that teach you how to properly use the tool, and you're like, so you're not supposed to use a screwdriver as a chisel. You know, like I was lied to my whole entire life.
I've done that 100,000 times.
Right, you're not supposed to. You grab the hammer and pop the end of the of the epoxy ones, the clear ones. You know
exactly. There's like, oh, there's a tool for that. It's called a chisel, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to use my screwdriver.
Exactly. That's what screwdrivers are there for. It's a multi-purpose tool. If they didn't want it to be used as a chisel, don't make it look like a chisel.
So TikTok is useful.
It might be useful 10% of the time.
Yeah, so about 10% of the time. The other 90%, it's just entertaining. And I tell you what, the algorithms are good.
The other 90% of the time
they're good at distracting you.
Is the first story. This is 90% of. I have a lot to say about this, but Mario, go ahead with the first story.
TikTok, this is nottobee.com reports TikTok influencer gives son weird name, posts video sobbing when people make fun of it. So this lady, Leanne JD on TikTok, who has 8 million followers. Never heard of this lady before, but she has 8 million followers. She named her son.
We have at least 30 people that view each episode, like every time the episode drops. So
we're on our way.
And this person has 8 million followers.
Well, maybe we should do that. What she did, she named her son Cozy, Koazy, pronounced cozy, like,
Cozy.
Getting cozy. Small house. It's cozy.
You know what? Let me stop you there. Is a small house cozy?
That's what they always say.
But would you rather live in a small house or a good, decent sized house?
So I've lived in many different houses. And I gotta say, though the bigger house is comfortable when you don't want to hear your kids playing video games, the smaller house is more comfortable when it comes time to clean. Because, and my God, the heating bill. I know it's a dumb thing to argue about, but...
No, it's not.
So here...
The cooling bill, the cooling bill, and the heating bill. Yeah, I get you there.
The summers here, they get like 110 degrees.
Right.
So it's automatically, you wake up in the morning and the AC is already on because it's
we have 110 degree summers, and then we have those winters that you wake up to like ice on the like the little bit of water that's still right there after it rained. It's iced over.
Well, there's at least, I would say there was probably around 4 to 5 nights a year where we're below freezing,
right,
or right at freezing. But in the summertime, there's like a stretch of 30 days, 40 days where it's just 100 degrees plus.
The area of California that we live in, within a week, we will experience all 4 seasons within that 1 week.
Right now, we're in the
Central Valley.
I would prefer a cozier home than a bigger home.
So I wouldn't prefer smaller. No, I just like, because you start accumulating way too much stuff, and then you got think about what to throw away. You can't throw away your kids because that's frowned upon.
Well, I'll give you that because that we do that every year. We throw all our stuff away. that we've accumulated over the years. We're like, do we really even need this? It's just gathering dust at this point. So we just got rid of a bunch of stuff. You get really creative with the space that you have.
I guess to me it's because I'm more claustrophobic.
Oh.
So I'm like anything small and cozy to me is like, I just want to like break through the walls.
See, I'm a little cozier than you are. So a small house is no problem for me.
All right, so talking about cozy, go ahead and continue with Mr. Cozy here.
So this writer just goes on to describe it as, it's, in their own words, they're complaining about the fact that this person decided to post this child's name on social media, is upset when people start roasting her for naming her child Cozy. It's like even weird as spelling.
I've always, this topic has always grinded my gears, right? Because you do something to get the attention, but when you get the wrong attention, you're like, stop giving me attention.
Right. It's like, oh, please, guys, don't make fun of me. It's like, she has 8 million followers. Did she really think 8 million people were going to be okay with this name?
It's literally the same thing as this whole like Meghan Markle and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're like...
Harry.
Stop giving me like... We don't want this attention. We want to live private lives. But yet let me go on all these talk shows and TV hosts and describe to you guys why we want privacy as we're being filmed.
Yeah, let me have this documentary filmed about me about why I want privacy.
Right, and then you're over... There South Park did a whole bit about
I heard about it. I haven't seen it though.
I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the full thing.
Okay.
This is what really grinds my gears right here, is that you do something that is quote unquote not normal, right?
Like she couldn't be ignorant to the fact, right?
No,
it's not possible.
She knew.
You can't be that dumb.
Right, exactly. Like, I get it that celebrities name their kids messed up shit already.
Yeah.
Like Blanket, Michael Jackson.
Kal-El.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Apple. Was that Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter?
How do you pronounce Elon Musk's kid's name?
I already forgot. It's like some kind of math name.
Yeah, exactly. Like you do these, like celebrities do these things because, they want, their kids are no matter what already going to be in the public space.
Yeah.
So they get named this so they could be, or extraordinary, right? So they're going to stand out. It's the most dumbest thing because when somebody lesser names their kids a dumb name, I just feel bad for the kids.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, this kid's got to live with that name Cozy. And it's like, hey, so why did your parents name you Cozy? Oh, she had 8 million followers on TikTok and wanted to make it 10 million. I know by that time TikTok's gonna be done and over with.
Right, literally. Yeah. So this whole trend of doing stuff to get attention to you, but then when you finally get the attention, it's either the right attention or the wrong intention.
Bro, I guarantee you, it's probably just a stunt. Let me name him this. If she even did name him that, but let's name him this. Get all the likes or retweets or God knows what, and then we'll change his name later.
There was one TikTok that I saw. So this lady, I guess, found out that her child had some sort of like disease, like barely born child or whatever. Like I don't exactly remember the whole backstory behind it, but she was in the hospital and she found out this terrible news. And you want to know how she broke it to TikTok? By an interpretive dance.
Oh my God.
She literally danced the fact that this kid had this whatever disease it was, and then she got flack for it, and then she went back on TikTok describing how she's the one being attacked. When you found out bad news about your child, and what do you do? What's the first thing you do? You go out there and just tell the whole entire world through interpretive dancing.
Like it's 100% for your attention, right? That's all she wants is she wants to get that little dopamine rush that you get when somebody gives you a heart emoji.
We talked about this. My whole stance about kids on social media, right? He's for it.
He loves kids on social media.
Hey, don't say it like that. I had to edit a whole new Chris Hemsworth thing or whatever. All right. I don't believe kids should be on social medias because they're this brainwashed stuff, right? You just get brainwashed, and kids are served ads about beauty products or drugs or this or that, whatever, right? But I don't believe kids should be on social medias, and I don't believe that parents should be putting their kids on social media.
Right.
On mine, rarely do you see me posting up anything about my children. The only times I ever do, like I told you, was I'll post them up when it's been like maybe a few months that I haven't posted them up, and like I have family on my social media, so I want my family to be able to see my children.
Right.
Or when I post a video of them headbanging to, my music, but that's very, very, very rare. Cute. Right. I don't go on there describing these genetic conditions that they have. They don't have any. Thank God. My kids are healthy. Let's hopefully.
And even if they did, nobody would know because you don't post that on social media.
I don't go out there explaining that my kids have this and that because it's their private information and it's our private information.
Oh no, my kid has flat feet. How are they gonna make it in life? You know.
Right. You know that's just my thing. But now you're over here. This whole stunt was literally just for the clout.
For sure.
There is no other reason, because if it was only for her, she wouldn't have posted it.
Yeah.
You know, if she really wanted to name the kid Cozy, like, okay, cool, she wouldn't have posted it. Yeah. But she's like, how can I get followers? How can I get like shared? All this and all that. How? Boom. Name your kid an absurd name, and then next thing you know, you get shit talked on you, and you're over here having a meltdown.
Yeah. Now she's looking for sympathy, and I'm sorry, lady, you're not gonna find it here.
No, this is the internet.
Did it for the attention, and you got it.
This is the internet. You live on the internet. You live on the internet. Nothing dies on the internet, especially the titty pictures that I accidentally exposed myself to. Like, you know, I sent some topless pictures to my wife a while ago, right? Right. And I thought I was sending them to her, but I accidentally hit reply all. Everybody got my pictures.
I enjoyed
it. You got it. You enjoyed it. I'm happy you enjoyed it. But you've
been working really hard at it.
Yes. My titty pictures are out there on the internet. I credit this to this AP story. I believe that my leaked nudes have something to do with Berlin.
It's not leaked when you post them yourself.
It was an accident, okay?
You sent it out to the world. There's a difference. It wasn't like to you to me, and then some hacker got to my phone.
Isn't that funny? Like every time, that's what politicians say. That every time they post something on social media and they get flagged for it, like I was hacked.
Oh yeah, somebody hacked me.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you catch them liking some like sus stuff on Twitter.
So I feel like my leaked nudes helped this Berlin law go into pass. The AP News reports.
Tell us how.
The AP News reports Berlin to let everyone go topless at public swimming pools, right? Because we believe in equality.
Of course.
I see men's boobs every time, you know, we go to the beach. And you know what? I'm gonna stop there.
People can see my boobs. Well, they should be able to see everyone else's boobs.
My wife listens to this podcast, so her boobs are the only boobs I'm allowed to see. Berlin. Women in Berlin will soon be allowed to go topless at the city's public swimming pools like men. The Berlin state government said Thursday. The new bathing rules allow everyone to go swimming without covering their torsos, followed a discrimination complaint by a woman who was not allowed to go topless in a swimming pool in the capital. For the woman whose identity was not revealed, had turned to the Senate's...
Go ahead.
What is that?
I'm not going to help you.
Ombudspersons? What is that word? You don't even know it either.
I don't know it either. No, it sounds like ombudspersons. Ombudspersons.
The woman whose identity was not revealed had turned to the Senate's Office for Equal Treatment to demand that women, like men, can swim topless. The Berlin Senate for Justice, Diversity, and Anti-Discrimination said in a written statement, in reaction to the complaint and the involvement in the case, and the person's involvement in the case, what is that? What is that?
Bader Betreibe,
which runs the city's public pools, decided to change its clothing rules, the statement said. The office very much welcomes the decision of the
Bader Betreibe
because it establishes equal rights for all Berliners, whether male, female, or non-binary, because it is also creates legal certainty for the staff of the
Bader Betreibe.
Yeah, apparently that women want equality too, to go swimming topless.
It's an option. So, I mean, at the very least, I understand that, where it's like, if you want to, you can. They're not being denied something.
But now, is it appropriate though?
Who's to say? Who's to say, really?
All right, is it appropriate? Okay, is it appropriate for you?
I would say no. Like, if it was my wife, daughter, sister, mother, anybody, I'd be like, hey, no, probably cover up, you know, because you're going to draw unwanted attention, unless you want that attention, in which case, I mean, go for it.
So if you have your young boys out there, right?
Yeah.
And there's in a public pool and there's women topless there, you know, your little boys, like, do you want them exposed to that yet?
In a way, I think, so I have two boys, right? And the way I'm kind of raising them is to not treat women as sexual objects, just because that's already instilled in you. That's ingrained in you.
Right.
You really you're born that way.
Right.
You kind of have to be trained, not necessarily out of it, but to kind of put it into perspective, where it's like, this chick may be good looking. All right, she may be topless. That is not an invitation to approach her and start talking a certain way or anything.
Right.
It's not that way anymore. Back in the day, if you saw a woman walking around like that, she wanted something out of you. She was trying to, if she looked like a prostitute, she's probably a prostitute.
That's that one street where you go down to all those hotels, right?
Exactly.
You know what you're talking about.
I know. But it's like, but that's not the case anymore. That's not how women aren't as reserved, where you were able to make the distinction between a prostitute and a normal, regular, average day woman. Today, women can dress however they want. And they can be as revealing as they want. They can do whatever they want. And I mean, at the end of the day, we got to kind of, as men, if we're going to allow this, we have to learn how to be more respectful ourselves.
Right. Okay. So I have no issue with this whatsoever. Right.
Yeah.
I would love to see all the titties out there in the world.
Now,
right? But
wait, you have 2 kids.
Right. Right now, in today's society, women's breasts considered sexual.
Still, yeah.
You know, so as of right now, women's breasts are still considered sexual. So it is, in today's world, women's breasts are still considered sexual, right?
Right.
So it is a turn on for men and women alike.
Yeah.
Right. You know, it's just ingrained in us until in the future where we no longer see breasts as sexual fun bags. You know, I don't know what to call them, you know, then it would be okay for it to be, you know, out there in public. But as of right now, it's still ingrained in everybody, you know, that it is a sexual. Would you call it a sexual organ? I don't even know how to describe it.
Well, it's tough because, I mean, instinctively, yeah, I would say it is a sexual organ. And as a man, you're more attracted to a woman with larger breasts because it kind of signals to you, hey, she's ready to start bearing some children. She's ready to, you know, she's going to raise you some kids. She's going to feed them. They're going to be all right.
Now, I agree with you that just because a woman dresses a certain way or decides to expose herself or whatever, you know, doesn't mean that gives you the right to go harass this woman.
Of course.
You know, totally against that. As of right now, like I said, I don't care, go for it. But if tables were turned, I have two young daughters.
Right.
Right. I'm not wanting no man showing their junk to my daughters.
Yeah.
You know, so have this story, switch it around.
Right. See, and that's I think that's the big difference here, is because I think female breasts are still considered a sexual organ, you know, just because that's what men are attracted to, where the male chest is not a sexual organ when women are like, hey, check him out. I mean, I'm sure some ladies are checking out male chests. Yeah. But it's not to that extent.
Exactly. It's not like, it's not censored for reasons. You know, like I get it, free the nipple, this, that. I get the argument, you know, but as of right now, as us speaking right now in the year 2023 of our Lord Jeebus, you know, that's it's considered sexual.
Yeah.
You know, so if you want public swimming pools to be topless, okay, make some topless. You know, so this way, if I take my young children out to go to a public swimming pool, I have the option of either taking them to one that's okay with nudity and one that's you cover yourself.
Right. I get that.
You know, because like I said, if you want to have your own swimming pools that you can do whatever you want in them, go for it. You know, I just don't want my children exposed to that right now. Yeah. You know, so have your swimming pools, but let me go to some that is kid appropriate.
No, especially when they reach a certain age where it's like their hormones are going crazy.
Right.
You know, and they just, you know, see someone wearing a shirt but without a bra, they go nuts. You know, you gotta rein them back in. Yeah, you gotta rein them back in and be like, hey, come on now.
Right, and it's so hard because it's biology.
It's just biology. It's not them. You know, they're not intentionally trying to do these kinds of things. They're not trying to feel this way.
Right. It's biology. It happens naturally. Yeah. Most men, not all men, are attracted to the female body.
Of course.
Right. You know, it doesn't matter. It kind of does, but you not necessarily have to be dressed in an exposing manner, you know, for a guy to feel aroused towards you. You could just dress nice, you know, and a guy's gonna like the way how you dress.
No, of course.
You know, so now imagine that, but you're just swimming without a bra, you know, or a top. No, to me it creates more problems than it doesn't need to create these problems. Is basically what I'm trying to say. If you want to go topless in a public swimming pool, have designated ones that you can do that. Have other ones that are, like I said, appropriate for all ages. Well, that's all I want, because switch this around, right? Switch this around where a man can be nude in a public swimming pool and the whole world burns.
I think it's because they're trying to say that the men are already showing their nipples, that women should also be able to show their nipples.
But like I discussed, that
the difference is that the man's chest is not considered a sexual organ by many standards, where the woman's chest is still considered
unfortunately,
a sexual organ.
Unfortunately, that's how it is as of right now, as of us speaking, the year 2023. For right now, women's breasts are still considered sexual in nature.
Yeah,
there's men out there that have really nice chests. Arnold, for instance, or Sebum, I don't know if you know who that is. He's a bodybuilder.
And I would argue to the ladies, ask yourself this question, where it's like, you got two sets of men's chests in front of you. One is...
Comment down below.
Danny DeVito's chest, which may be a bad example. Women love Danny DeVito. But the other chest is Demonic's favorite actor, Jason Momoa. It's his chest. You're looking at one a little more than the other.
Right. If you had the option...
Would that not be considered sexual in nature then? One is more arousing than the other.
Yes and no, because...
One, you're not even going to give it a second look. The other, you're going to be like,
It's you're attracted to Jason Momoa's chest.
Yeah.
But you're not... I guess some women would be sexually aroused at Jason Momoa's chest. That's a hard question.
I mean? That's where it's tough, because it's like, not that men's chests are sexual organs in nature or sexual by nature, but we're not going to sit here and pretend that men's chests, for some women, probably, they're not aroused by it. They're like, that's a good, strong looking chest. Got hair and everything.
True. I get what you mean, but
but that's my point. It's just like, look, at the end of the day, they want equality. Give them equality.
Right. Let's put it this way: if you are in a movie and it's considered rated R because you take off your shirt, then it should be considered rated R in public. Let's put it that way.
That makes sense, and there's a reason you put an age restriction on those movies.
Right. And like I said, equality, I'm fine with it. All the titties out there in the world, take them out, let them breathe. We are totally for it, right?
Yeah.
But there is some appropriate places to do it and some not to do it. And like I said, this is a public swimming pool. Kids are most likely going to be there. Like I said, just have some that are nudist, have some that are age appropriate. That's my TED talk for, this story right here.
Wait, in full disclosure, I have a daughter too, and I will be raising her to be as reserved as possible, because I don't want her value to be only what's underneath her sweater.
Then, like I said, that my children are like that too. Well, sorry, I have 2 daughters, and that's basically how I want to raise them too as well.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try my damnedest to raise them like that, but later on, once they turn 18, do whatever you want.
Yeah, eventually they grow up, and if she feels it's her right to go topless in a public pool, well, I won't be happy about it.
It is what it is, right? Do it. All right, Mario, go ahead. Third story.
All right, so this is sort of a long one, so I'm just going to give you the gist of it. So it's the secretlifeofmom.com reports that a man went viral for refusing to give up his spot on a ride to a crying child. So there's this F1 Formula 1 simulation ride, and I guess
so it wasn't the teacups.
It was not the teacups. So it's like,
because I would have been crying if I couldn't get a ride on the teacups.
Well, for the teacups, can you imagine how much you'd be crying, for a F1 simulator?
Right.
So they're at the carnival, right? And it's a really long line. They've been standing there for a really long time. And basically, the cutoff is right between this guy and this little girl behind him. So he has 2 options. They say you can do the ride, and the little girl doesn't get to ride the ride until the next time she's there, which who knows when that's going to be. Or you can give up your spot to the little girl so she can experience it, and you just basically wasted 3 hours waiting in line. F that kid is what this man said. He was like, no, I'm riding this thing today. So he did not give up his ride for the little girl.
All right, so now we just also seen the video right now, and this is a hard one for me because, first of all, when I see this is funny.
Yeah.
All right, this is funny. But now also as a dad, and if this happened to my child, I would have mixed emotions.
My emotions would be mixed at all. I'd be pretty disappointed in that guy, and
that's why I'd be disappointed in the guy. But at the same time, you have no right.
Yeah,
the kid has no right to the ride just because she's the last one standing in line doesn't mean that, or just because she was the cut off of the line doesn't mean you're entitled to the ride.
Of course.
I'm
still disappointed.
Right.
Because because I would put myself in his shoes, and who knows, he probably doesn't even have kids, so why would he care? But let's say it was me and any child on the planet was sitting behind me and wanted to go on this ride. I'm giving up my spot. 100%. 100% of the time. You know, I couldn't possibly see myself denying the kid that opportunity. And you know what? I'm a grown adult. What do I care?
Right, exactly. Like, you know,
it's nothing. If I wanted to come back, I can come back. It's not. I'm not waiting for my parents to take me to this amusement park again. I can go any day of the week.
The difference between us and kids is that we understand that shit happens, and oh well, we didn't get a ride. We didn't get to turn on a ride. This actually hurt the kid.
Well, you see,
because if the kid was standing there for a while, you know, excited, imagine the built-up excitement.
Yeah.
You know, so this kid is now hurt emotionally. Like, it's, you know, it's not scarring for the kid, but it hurts the kid more.
Now, some people are making the argument that the kid learned an important lesson here today, where, you know, you don't get everything you want. Sometimes life just sucks.
I agree.
And I agree as well that's probably a lesson this kid's going to take away from that day. I would not be the one to teach the kid that lesson. That's not going to happen.
Right. Like I said, you know, it's funny because also the song, you know, like it's just a carefree dude that don't care. You know, it's not his child. He doesn't care.
Look, I'm
disappointed. Even if he had kids, doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, what's right is right, and he was in line. So was she. They both waited the exact same amount of time, and it would stand to reason that he is, of course, entitled to that ride. The little girl is not.
Right. Exactly.
I don't agree with it still. You know, hey, buddy, you made your choice. You did what you wanted to do. I'm sure you enjoyed the ride. I wouldn't have. You know, that I just don't have it in me to deny a kid like that.
I'm a big person of you do good deeds, you get good deeds done back to you. You know, so this is like, even if I wouldn't have done exactly for like, maybe I would have found $1 on the floor or whatever, I still would have done it because it's a child. You know, I just can't I can't be the one to make the child feel miserable.
No.
You know, that would hurt me emotionally inside.
Yeah.
Even though I'm having fun in the teacups, you know, like just watching that kid cry, and as I'm pointing laughing, you know, when I go home to go to sleep, that kid is gonna be like in my brain just crying, and I'll be like, damn.
Yeah, I've ridden a million roller coasters. I don't mind missing one. Like if I wasted 3 hours, whatever.
Right, exactly.
Not the end of the world.
Yeah, but like I said, it's hard because...
But for that little girl right then and there, it was the end of the world. Now, again, she learned an important lesson.
Right.
But the way I see it is like, I'm not going to be the one to teach her that today. Not today. The world will teach her that eventually. This is true. By force.
This is true.
She will learn that lesson.
One way or another, she is going to learn.
Man, it's not going to be me.
Because, it's hard because you humble the kid, you know, but at the same time, like this is a tough one. This is hard. Like I would have given up my turn for the kid.
Which situation would be morally correct? They both waited the same exact amount of time. This guy was entitled to the seat, not the little girl. He has no obligation to give up that seat at all. So it's like he didn't do anything wrong.
Nope.
Let's put that out there right now.
Nothing wrong at all.
He did not do anything wrong.
Just because you hurt a child's feelings doesn't mean you did anything wrong.
No. I wouldn't say what he did was right. You know, I wouldn't go that far either. I would just say, you know what, the world will keep turning.
Right, exactly. It's not the end of the world for this girl.
Nah,
but to me,
she learned a valuable lesson that day.
To me, I would have given her my seat because at the end of the day, I can go drink this. Yeah. She can't.
Bro, you know, if I told my wife I gave up my seat to a little girl, shoot, my wife would be loving me.
Right, exactly. She would take you to that public pool in Berlin. Once again, TikTok is where everything goes to die.
Yeah, culture.
Right. Influencers. You have... Bro, that's a job title, influencers. That's weird, huh?
Yeah.
It's so hard thinking about that. Like, what do you do for a living? I'm an influencer.
Like, I remember the first time I heard people on YouTube made money. They can make money just making YouTube videos. I was like, how? That doesn't even make sense. But then they started putting ads in YouTube videos, and I was like, oh, okay.
Right. To me, when I started hearing about that, I'm like, okay, cool. You know, another income. The next thing you know, that I found out that they make millions in a year, and now we have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You know.
Here we go.
This right here is from Not The Bee. Again, because they have a lot of wonderful news stories. Guys, check it out, notthebee.com. What a perfect story to end our week in clown world is the headline. Influencer who married herself considers divorce after 24 hours. That is right.
I'm looking at her picture right now, and I'm annoyed just looking at her. She's irritating me already.
Because she has just one of those. She has a very influencer face.
Yeah.
She has like everything about her is just screams
cookie cutter
narcissism.
Yeah. So she's not ugly, obviously, but I would just be annoyed by her. I can tell. You know where she loses me?
Where?
Is the fact that it looks like it's just a mirror selfie. How old is she? Mirror selfies were a thing when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, it's still a way how to take a photo.
Yeah, but it's just like, bathroom mirror selfie at that. That's a bathroom mirror. Look at the tile on the wall.
Well, yeah, but still, it's like
you're wearing a wedding dress, using your phone to take this picture in a bathroom.
I still take mirror selfies
in wedding dresses.
Yeah, if I like the way it looks, if I like the way my butt looks, yeah.
Now, if I went out of my way to purchase a wedding dress, a very fancy outfit for a very special occasion, I'm not gonna be taking pictures in, a bathroom with tiles in the background. And you know what the worst part is?
What?
Look at her fingernails. All right. She didn't even get her hair done. She didn't get her fingernails done.
Bro, you are full of negative criticism about this young woman right here who married herself. Bro, you're imagine you're already fed up with her. She is considering divorce after 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right here it says, a woman who allegedly married herself has instigated divorce proceedings after spending just one day in her own company. Sophie first announced the move back in February alongside photos of herself in a long white veil and gold tiara. The 25-year-old, who has over 500,000 followers on Twitter and Instagram, revealed that she had bought a wedding dress and baked a cake to celebrate the big day.
Man.
Quote, today, in the most spurious moment of my life, I bought a wedding dress and cooked a wedding cake. Cooked? Baked. This is baked.
She said cooked a wedding cake.
Yeah, but this needs to be baked.
It should be baked.
Influencers at their best.
This is why she had to marry herself. Grammar.
And cooked a wedding dress and cooked a wedding cake to marry myself, she said. Social media users had strong thoughts about her decision, with some supporting Sophie, while others said the whole thing was for attention.
For sure. I mean, she's an influencer. That's kind of the goal here, right?
Like, literally. And so, yes, once again, back in the first story, you do this for attention, and then you get the attention that you so crave, but either it's good attention or bad attention. And then usually when you do it you think you're going to get good attention, as soon as you get that backlash, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're deciding to divorce yourself.
But I'm looking at this girl's face and I'm thinking, she doesn't care about the backlash. She's just glad you clicked on her video. Once it hits the millions, then she's golden. This is a stunt.
This girl literally screams typical influencer, bro. Literally. Despite the support from some followers, it seems the love-upped solo bride was soon left questioning her commitment, as just a day later, on February 20th, she declared the divorce was imminent. Quote, update. One day I'm married to myself and I can't take it anymore. I'm seeing how divorce issues is just a case, she said.
She's for the streets, bro. That's what they say. That's what the kids say nowadays.
Right. Literally. Bro, it's all for attention.
Yeah.
It's dumb stories like this that how am I going to get attention? How am I going to gain attention? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Like, some publicity is better than no publicity.
Yeah.
What is that saying? How's that saying go that some bad publicity is still good.
There's no such thing as bad publicity.
There you go. Yeah. So as long as she gets all the clicks, the views to her page, if we were a professional podcast, we would probably have gone and done some research on her to see what kind of other stunts might she have done. But we don't do that because we're not paying ourselves for this.
And here's the irony is that here we are talking about how she wants attention, and this is all just a stunt. We're talking about her. It worked.
Because it worked.
It worked.
Congratulations.
She went viral for it.
We fooled ourselves. Bro, did you see who wrote the story?
No, who?
Look at it. Keep on going up. Go up. Read who wrote the story.
Harambe. A writer going by the name Harambe.
No,
RIP.
the dead gorilla wrote the story. Bro, so this is I guarantee you, this influencer, with 90% of all influencers out there, did not wear a mask.
Oh no, for sure.
right?
Because she spent that much money to fix that nose.
Literally.
You're not going to cover it up with a mask.
Right. This leads on to our very last story from NPR. Are you ready for this? And this is the reason why I didn't wear a mask. People who think they're attractive are less likely to wear masks, a study shows. People are less likely to wear masks to prevent 19 if they see themselves as good looking, according to a study published earlier this year. Researchers asked 1,030 participants to self-evaluate how attractive they deemed themselves, how likely they were to wear a mask, and if certain situations such as a job interview or walking a dog impacted their willingness to wear one. All right, so you've heard the studies that if you're out in the open, it doesn't affect you, right? Like you're safe out in the open, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
So if they would have asked me this about walking a dog, then I wouldn't wear one.
Yeah.
I never wore one outside to begin with.
No, well, it just didn't make sense to me to do that. Like, I'm by myself.
Exactly.
Why would I wear one? And I work alone.
Yeah, so this is the same thing about the whole driving. You're driving alone in your own car, but yet you're like, you have a full-on like suit, like hazmat suit, you know, like.
I never went that crazy about it. I thought, you know what? Who knows? Maybe this is bad, but it's like, all I gotta do is not talk to anybody or like touch people, and I already don't do that.
Right. It's funny because
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I loved it.
Did you?
I loved the whole lockdown shit. Everyone was 6 feet away from me at all times. It was nice. You know, I went a whole like almost 24 months without smelling somebody's bad breath. That was awesome.
You know what's funny? That to me, I literally never wore a mask because I just didn't care. Like, to me, and this is my opinion, right?
It's the wrong opinion.
It's the wrong opinion, and that's completely fine because it was serious. Because
Hillary Clinton would be so disappointed in you right now.
She's gonna give me a S word that I'm not allowed to say.
She's gonna cut that out. She was gonna kill us.
She's gonna Epstein me. I never wore masks just because I didn't care. Like, yes, it was a serious threat. I did wear a mask around my parents because my parents are older, and it does affect older people. It does affect the obese. It affects the less healthy of the population. Yeah. You know, pre-existing conditions. It's no secret, but to me, I never wore one. And I went almost a whole year without wearing one in public, everywhere.
Yeah.
People coughing on me.
No,
never. I'm just kidding about that part, but never got it, right? Until the most dumbest thing ever. I forgot what it was, and then I ended up finally getting it.
I tell you what it was. It was China, and China, and they put the virus on the mask and shipped those masks to the U.S.
But even then, that doesn't make sense because I didn't wear a mask.
Oh yeah, I forgot. But it's true that like with my mom too, when the whole lockdown first began, so I visit my mom every single Sunday. You know, it's without fail. And during that whole COVID thing, we were like, should I even go visit? So I talked to her about it and everything and how she felt. And at first she was like, you know what, let's just take precautions and make sure everybody's okay before we decide to, you know, make any decisions. And so we were like, all right. And that only lasted for like a month or two, you know, where it's like we were keeping our distance away from each other. After that, we were like, oh, if it gets me, it gets me.
Right.
And keep in mind, my mom is she's a, you know, heavyweight or heavy set. She's a heavy set diabetic woman in her 60s.
Right.
Even she was like, screw it. If it gets me, it gets me. Like, whatever.
Right. I mean, to me, like I said, I did take it serious in the beginning. Well, I took it serious as much as I take stuff serious, which is not that serious.
Yeah.
All right. Because if you're like me and you're a conspiracy theorist, you've heard about this 19 literally like 3 months before the general public heard it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I talked to you about it then, but I remember in our other podcast, Preferences and References, we discussed this. We discussed this virus that China was keeping it a secret. China didn't want anybody to know. We knew that it was in China, or people that knew about this virus before the big the big networks started talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, so I already knew this was going to happen. I talked to my wife and I told her, I'm like, this is going to cause issues in the United States. As soon as the first person gets infected with the United States, I'm like, watch, everything's going to go to shit.
Like, bro, we didn't even panic when Ebola made it over here.
Right. And Ebola, in a way, is the survivability rate of Ebola is worse than.
It's not even in a way. It's like literally. It's
right.
You're a lot less likely to survive Ebola.
I meant in a way because it's not as easily transmissible as you know this virus is.
Of course,
you know. So that's what I'm saying. In a way, you know, obviously it is way more deadlier than this one right here.
Yeah.
Not saying that this one wasn't deadly in its own rights, because it was. You know, but if you're a healthy person that's active and you got it, it was basically the cold.
Dude, I take a quick story real quick. This is how messed up I am, right? So my wife was like hella scared when the first virus started happening, and so big deal. It was a big deal when those people on that cruise ship came off the coast of San Francisco, and like they all had the Rona, and so what ended up happening was somebody in Madeira ended up getting it, and then that's when my wife was like, "Oh my god." Like,
real quick, you know what I just noticed? I didn't have to restart the story. I forgot I'm the editor. I could have just
bleeped it out.
Keep on.
So it's so she was like panicking or whatever, right? And I thought, you know what? Right now would be a perfect time to show her one of my favorite movies. It's called Outbreak, starring Dustin Hoffman.
I think I've seen it, but only once, so I don't remember it.
So it's a great movie. It's actually a perfect example of what should have happened, right? So the
pandemic we wanted but didn't get.
So basically, this monkey gets this virus, gets shipped to the United States. Guy in an airplane ends up getting sick from it, and then infects another passenger. That passenger takes it back to his hometown. Next thing you know, the entire town it just starts dying left and right. People are getting this virus.
So Resident Evil?
Sort of, except they don't become zombies. It's just regular die. And then Dustin Hoffman is like this. He works for like the World Health Organization or whatever, or some organization. And he has to like try to find a way to stop this virus. Finally, the U.S. government is like, look, if you got 24 hours to figure this out, because if you don't, the only way to kill this virus is the way we killed it back in Africa. And that's by bombing the entire village. So we're going to have to basically nuke this town to kill this virus, and we're prepared to do that. So luckily this dude was able to find the monkey that had the virus, but the monkey was still alive, which meant that they can make a vaccine out of it.
And that monkey was running the whole kingpin, and they had monkeys protecting it. It's basically Planet of the Apes.
Basically, that's how it started. No, so that movie, showed my wife that movie right at the beginning of the pandemic, and she was like... Of
course you would.
Yeah. She was not happy about it, but it was a great movie. I stand by it.
This was a great representation to myself. Well, not representation, but this was a great awakening to myself that I wasn't prepared as I thought I was with all my supplies that I have on hand right now.
Yeah.
Luckily, we had a lot of toilet paper because my dad does security for this company that does uniforms. No, they do uniforms and stuff like that, and they also restock restrooms and all that. So they sometimes throw away boxes of toilet paper that are basically they just look ugly, because it was either crushed or something like that, and they don't want it's bad product, You're
gonna use it to wipe your butt, you're gonna put poop on it.
Literally. So we had rolls. We had literally a shit ton of toilet paper, So I wasn't worried about that, When people were starting to not take up the water, I really didn't care as much either because we have a pure filter on our tap. Yeah. So it filters the water. I didn't care too much about that. What really got me was the food situation. Yeah. So when our supply started kind of running low, that's when I started kind of panicking. I'm like, oh shit, it's for reals now. Luckily, my wife was pregnant at the time. So there was this one store right here, the La Vallarta, that let certain days, they let the older people and pregnant women go in line first to go buy food. Yeah. So we took advantage of that.
For sure, because my wife was pregnant at the same time.
But the prices of everything.
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
They took advantage of us. They knew.
Literally.
They knew
Your daughter is basically the same age as my daughter too.
Yeah. So my daughter was born in May of 2020.
What day?
19th.
The 2nd.
Oh shoot! They really?
Yeah.
Wow, they're that close.
Damn. That's insane. All right. Yeah. So no, keep on.
Oh yeah. So my daughter was born in May of 2020, and so yeah, the Vallarta would do that where they would let senior citizens, which my mom, and then pregnant people, my wife, they would allow them to shop between the hours of like 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. That was you can shop at, they're not gonna let anybody else in, so risk free. There
is a news crew was out there filming the line, and you just see my back towards against the news crew. So I was famous for a little bit.
Damn, dude, I remember that waiting in line to go to Home Depot. That was so annoying. And I started getting mad because like this doesn't make sense, right? Because so we're all wearing masks outdoors, waiting to get into Home Depot, which is only allowing 100 people at a time in the store. The line is like 300 people, and we're 6 feet apart. Nobody was 6 feet apart. Right,
literally.
So it's like we're more crowded out here than we would be if we were in the store.
You know what saved you and me in those stores?
What?
The little arrows telling us where to go on the aisles.
Yeah. Otherwise, who knows?
That was it right there.
It would have got me.
But I mean, I kind of get it that it wasn't necessarily to protect you guys. No, it was more for the staff,
the susceptible people, and the staff. Yeah.
Yeah, because the staff, even though you guys were like you're in and out, the staff are there for hours at a time.
Yeah.
So I kind of get it, but at the same time, like knowing what we know now, it's like just stuff could have been handled way better.
Yeah, I think this was a great learning experience and a perfect trial run for when the real shit hits the fan.
Right.
Because that's going to happen.
Right.
I'm telling you right now.
I need to prepare a lot more. But to continue on with
MREs.
Yeah, bro.
We had MREs stocked up, so I was happy.
We have MREs also, but luckily I just never, like, it didn't get to that point where I had to start going into my stash.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, basically, my stash consists of this. It consists of our perishables, right? So food in the fridge, food in the freezer, right? Vegetables, fruit, bread. Those are the perishables, right? Then from there, it jumps into the dry goods / the canned food, right? Then that's what we already have stocked up in our cupboards already, right? We have a shit ton of that stuff, right? So the last worst case scenario is once we run out of that, then we start digging into my emergency kit, where basically I have number 10 cans of freeze dried food. I have buckets. I have I want to say I have like 5 or 6, probably 5 cases of 72-hour kits. I have 5 cases of 72-hour kits, which is just basically food for one person. I have so much like emergency food that I know it's not enough, because in my head I'm like, if this lasted any longer, I'm like, then we're screwed. I think in total I have, for the family of 4 that I have, I want to say I have at least comfortably, without rationing, a month of food. Rationing, because that's what you want to do in this kind of scenario.
Yeah, where you wouldn't know when it's going to end.
Right. Rationing, we can make this 1 month of food last at least 2.5 months. And that's like, bare minimum. You're not getting your 2,100 calories that you need to survive. You're probably getting like 1,500.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And the one thing
someone's on a diet.
No, because like your body needs that much, right? But like to survive, you at least need 1,500 to 2,000 calories just to survive.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose weight. It's not gonna be comfortable. It's gonna suck. I'm not saying it's not, but you have enough to last, to survive till somebody comes get you, the government. So, but to get back to the story, because we went slightly off topic.
That was like way off.
The more attractive a person perceives themselves, the less likely they are to wear a mask because they thought the mask made them less attractive. Inversely, the less attractive someone found themselves, the more likely they are to wear a mask. According to the frontiers of psychology, the more likely they are to wear a mask, according to the study in Frontiers of Psychology, published in late January. The former group was less likely to hypothetically wear a mask to a job interview, while the latter group was more likely to wear a mask in that circumstance. Quote, our findings suggest that mask wearing can shift from being a self-protection measure during the 19 pandemic to a self-preservation tactic in the post-pandemic era. For mundane activities such as walking a dog, people were less likely to care about their looks and thus were less motivated to wear a mask. But those who see themselves as attractive were still more likely to feel the need to make a good impression. So it goes to show you that in a real pandemic, the beautifuls will die first.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It was nice knowing you guys.
It tracks. It tracks. They're so vain. No, I would wear a mask. I'm not a beautiful person. My mom likes me. My wife loves me. So that's two.
So, you know, this whole thing about, without getting political, I didn't care so much about this virus because it got political way too fast.
Yeah, it was literally from less about protecting ourselves and more about, you know, it's like, who do you support?
Right.
You know,
literally, like, pick any pandemic out there. As soon as it becomes political, I'm out. I'm like, what do you really care about? Do you really care about getting elected, or do you really care about my health? Let's be honest. All right. Yeah. Without getting political, guys. All right. But look at this certain party that was saying, I'm never going to get the shot. I'm never going to get the shot under this certain president. Right. Yeah. Next thing you know, another person gets elected, and the same party that was saying, I'm never going to get the shot is now saying you need to get the shot. Yeah. Right? It's vice versa. The people that were saying get the shot because a certain person was in office is now, I'm not going to get the shot because this person's in office. Yeah. You know, it got political way too fast. You know, now you're playing politics with my life, and I'm out. I'm good.
Well, here's the thing. I think it was political, like, from the get-go.
Literally.
You know, I don't think there was at any point it was not political because, you know, they were going after, like, the orange guy so hard, you know, and he was like, you should wear a mask. People were like, why? Right. You know? Right. And then it's like, once the other guy got in and they were like, you should wear a mask. Like, yeah, we should. We should all definitely be wearing masks. And I was just like, so should we or shouldn't we? Because it's like 1 minute it's okay, 1 minute it's not okay.
Literally, 1 minute it's like, you're all going to die. And then next thing you know, I was like, I mean, you're not gonna die, but still, you know, it's just they were tiptoeing way too much, and I was like, okay, at some point, you know, it wasn't about my health anymore. It was more about control.
Well, I saw it more of a what would you call it? Political theater, where it's like if you weren't wearing a mask, it's not because you weren't taking your health seriously. It was because you didn't want to be associated with a particular party. Right. Exactly. And if you did wear a mask, again, it was not because you were taking your health seriously. It was because you didn't want to be, you know, associated with a particular party.
Right. Exactly. Guys, comment down below. Did you wear a mask during the pandemic because you are a beautiful, beautiful person? Yes, I'm talking to you. Oh, look at you. You're so beautiful. So pretty.
Sexy eyes.
All right. Did you guys wear a mask? Would you guys attend a public pool that women can go topless in? Obviously, the answer is yes, but we want to hear from you guys. Let us know. Comment down below. Subscribe, like, share the video. Share it with your friends. If you like this video, share us around. We'll gladly whore out for you guys. And with that, it is I Demonic. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace out, y'all.